Governments make ambitious promises, new laws, new rules, new plans, but many fail to deliver, not because they lack authority, but because they lack something more basic. So what actually determines what a state can do? And why do weakening systems increasingly rely on pressure rather than performance? In this explainer, we'll unpack state capacity, the practical ability of a government to implement decisions, enforce rules, and coordinate society. And we'll see why systems under strain often shift toward one kind of power, triggering a downward spiral. State capacity isn't about rhetoric. It's about execution. High capacity means decisions don't just exist on paper. They're implemented, enforced, and felt in everyday life. Low capacity means authority still exists, laws are passed, and rules are announced. But outcomes fail to materialize because the system can't reliably execute them. Political scientists often distinguish between two forms of state power: extractive power and infrastructural power. Extractive power is the ability of the state to take from society taxes, fees, fines, debt, inflation, capital controls. It is fast to expand and costly over time. Infrastructural power is different. It's the ability of the state to work through society. Administration, institutions, logistics, data systems, public services. It's slow to build, but durable once established. As long as society perceives a balance between these two, authority feels legitimate. People accept rules more easily when extraction is matched by coordination. Strong, stable states rely primarily on infrastructural power. Weakening states compensate with extractive power. Why? Because when systems weaken, governments lose the ability to coordinate smoothly. Institutions slow down. Enforcement becomes uneven. Trust declines. But obligations don't disappear. States still need revenue, compliance, predictability, and stability. So extractive power compensates for what infrastructural power can no longer reliably provide. Before we continue, if you think this is valuable, please like. It helps share it with others. Subscribe so we stay informed together. In practice, extraction substitutes coordination with pressure, not because it's better, but because it still works in the short term. When coordination fails, compulsion fills the gap. What begins as a temporary workaround slowly becomes the dominant mode of governance. And that creates a spiral. As extraction expands, compliance becomes more coerced. Voluntary cooperation declines. Trust erodes faster. That erosion makes infrastructural power even harder to rebuild. So the system compensates again, with more extraction. The loop looks like this. Weaker coordination leads to more extraction, which reduces trust, which weakens coordination further. This is how systems slide, rather than collapse overnight. This connects to earlier explainers. Legitimacy explains authority without trust. Technocracy explains expert rule expanding under pressure. And surveillance and financial tools often grow when infrastructural reach is insufficient. What should you watch for? Rules multiplying while outcomes deteriorate. Extraction rising faster than service quality. Uneven enforcement. Penalties replacing coordination. State capacity determines whether power works through society or is imposed upon it. When infrastructural power weakens, extraction fills the gap, and once that shift begins, reversing it becomes increasingly difficult. In the system you live under, does governance feel more coordinated or more extractive? And more importantly, which direction is that balance moving? This is TNBC Explainers, understanding how the world actually works. State capacity is part of TNBC Explainers Module 2, Power, Governance, and the State. TNBC Explainers is a growing YouTube course. New concepts are added over time,